Greetings and welcome back. And for those of you new here, welcome. I am starting here in the porch today simply because it is so windy outside. It's incredible. I guess those March winds have hit us a little late. But anyway, it is a beautiful day outside, beautiful blue skies, sunny, and I can't wait to get out there and show you some things that we've been doing. And to begin with, I am going to show you a couple of small updates that we have made progress on with our new porch here. It's actually outside. And I'm pleased with how it turned out. Like I said, it's small, but I'm going to take you outside and show you. And then because we don't have enough going on, we started another kind of a surprise project in the backyard. And I'm going to take you back there and show you what's going on there. And then a huge progress, I hope, fingers crossed, will be made next week. So other than that, I have been really busy with working out in the yard as much as I can. We have had a couple of cooler days, but that's okay. I'm trying to get as many of my garden beds raked and cleaned up as much as I can prior to black fly season. And that typically is Mother's Day through Father's Day. And they can just be a bit aggravating. So I'm trying to get a little jump start on that. So needless to say, we have been extremely busy with all of that. So let's go ahead, let's get started here. And then I'm going to take you around to the backyard and show you a few things that are going on there. So come on, let's go. So I'm happy to say that Mark did get the ceiling here on our first porch completed. It honestly, it was initiated because we had some birds trying to make nests right up there in the corner. So Mark said we really need to get this closed in. So we completed that, and then we brought this granite step here, just an extra step to get into the porch. We had this was actually underneath the original porch. We have several slabs that were found, and this one happened to work out just fine. We want to clean it up just a little, but it's in place and it makes a nice entry into the porch. So that is as far as we've gotten there, but let's head to the backyard. I want to show you a few things there. This is the first of my tulips coming up. I have quite a few daffodils, but this is the first little tulip. I'm excited for that to pop. But I've been busy working on raking and cleaning up flower beds. And on a windy day like today, we do have a lot of leaves around. I had this bed here totally cleaned, and now I have a few more leaves, not many. You can see even throughout the yard there are leaves. I remember last year I had someone comment, "Don't you rake leaves in the fall?" Yes, we do. I got a little chuckle out of that simply because when you live in a wooded area like this, believe me, you cannot beat the leaves. You cannot stay ahead of them. It's hard. So I feel like we are constantly raking. We do the best we can to stay on top of it. And yes, we do rake in the fall. Not only do we rake, but we actually have a leaf bagger that we put behind our lawnmower. So it's like a sweeper and it collects the leaves. It makes the job much easier. But I did want to show you here my garlic did pop up. It amazes me every year. You plant it late in the fall. As you can see, I didn't have enough to complete this middle row. I planted what I had, and it just pops up. I love it. It's just kind of fun, and it's amazing how it just makes it through the winter. So we will see how much I get out of it. I'm pleased with the amount that I do have. I have this watering system here Mark had put in last year for me. I think I'm just going to have that removed. It's such a small space. It's just as easy for me to water it with a hose. So that's what I plan on doing. But let me take you over here and share with you what is going on here. Now, as you remember from my last video, we have some new baby chicks. Now, let me premise this by saying they are not the reason for us doing this. It may have initiated it just a bit, but we were looking at chicken coops. And we thought at first, and I believe I talked to you about it, that we were going to do a chicken tractor. And we did purchase a chicken tractor, but it was just too small. I didn't like the idea of it. I wanted more of a chicken coop. Well, it just went from small to medium to large. Long story short, as you can see here in the corner, we have some stakes here. You can see we've had some trees that we have cut down, and we have a pile of gravel. We ended up getting, I don't know what you call it, a larger shed, a tiny barn, an outbuilding, whatever it is. We ended up going and ordering one. It is going to arrive. They come in, they set it up for us in one day. It will arrive this coming Friday. So we are beyond excited about it. It's really cute. We were able to kind of go and design it ourselves, choose colors, the whole bit. And it's something we have needed here for a very, very long time. This house has a one-car garage. You know, I have my little quote-unquote she shed out front. It's just not enough storage. I think if you've watched many of my videos, you've seen Mark is a do-it-yourselfer, a woodworker. He needs space, and this is where we are going to have him set up a little, like his little workshop, if you want to call it that, and it also gives us some storage space. So we're very excited about it. I'm excited to share it with you, and it ends up, this is where we are going to put the chickens then eventually. You can see here, Theodore was out here. He loved rock climbing. You can see his little prints. They just left. They came up for the day, and he had so much fun running up and down this big hill, which it is a big hill or a little mountain for a 2-year-old. So anyway, we are going to have the building here put in the corner of our property. We are going to be moving a little bit of this stone wall over there, so this space will be closed. This is where our opening will be, because there will be a large door on the side of this little barn, whatever you want to call it, where we will be pulling in things like our lawnmower, the gator, that type of thing. So it will be able to pull right in there, and right out into the other part of our property if we need to. And then what we are going to do is we are going to have the chicken run coming off of this side of our of the building. So the chicken run will be here. We are going to be putting in an electric fence. There will be electricity coming to the building. And we have to do an electric fence just because of the animals that live here in the woods around us. And we want to keep our chickens as safe as possible. We understand there are chances that you take. We had issues. Our biggest issue in Michigan was raccoon, and we lost many chickens to raccoon when we lived in Michigan. So we're going to do the best that we can. Again, we had chickens for over 20 years, and we kind of know how to set up the yard. We are going to have, motion lights. We're going to do the best that we can. But everyone here in New Hampshire has chickens. I swear, I've never seen so many chicken owners in my life. It's kind of crazy to me, considering everybody here lives surrounded by trees and woods. So wish us luck on that. That is what we have been up to, my friends. We have cut down several trees. If you've watched me for a while, you know we had this, I call it a bit of a leaner tree here. It drove me nuts for several years. We finally took that down. I'm going to share that with you right now. Okay, so I'm in the truck. I'm in charge of trying to get this tree to come this way a little and not hit the garden. So wish me luck. Okay, hang on. Yay! It worked. Missed the garden, and everyone's safe. So here is the pile of logs from several of the trees that we've taken down the past several days. But this is the beginning of our spring, summer. You can see we have plenty of work yet. It's going to keep us very busy, but we love it. That's what we enjoy about having property, having a little garden, and just bettering the property that we bought. So that's it for outside right now, friends. I'm going to take you inside, and we are going to make some graham crackers. Have many of you made graham crackers before? Well, we're going to try it. I'm going to show you how, and of course I'm going to be making the graham crackers with my beloved einkorn flour. So let's head inside. Okay, back in the kitchen now, and I have all of my ingredients out so we can get started on making the graham crackers. So let me begin by saying that just recently I had purchased some at Trader Joe's. If you choose not to make your own, I will tell you theirs are delicious. I had the cinnamon ones. But it just triggered something with me because I remember seeing a recipe a while ago that I've been wanting to try. And I love my einkorn flour. This particular recipe has einkorn and spelt flour, but they look very simple to make. Those of us that have grandchildren, it's wonderful to have them around because it's not quite as sweet as a cookie. I personally love graham crackers and milk as a little treat once in a while. And of course, we have summer coming up, which means it's time for s'mores. So I thought it a perfect time to go ahead and try this recipe. I am going to do something a little different today. In lieu of cutting out your typical squares, like most graham crackers are, I am going to use a little cookie cutter and just add a little shape to it and make it a little more fun. And just a little footnote before we begin, if you hear any noises outside, I know I've said it before, but sometimes you can hear from outside and it may cause a little bit of a distraction, but Mark is working outside. He's trying to prep for our building, our little barn, whatever you want to call it, to arrive. So we have to get the base ready for that. So he is working, so you may hear some tools and things going. Let me bring you in a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to grab my mixer and then we will get started. always want to say that it is a moist dough, which is why you want to refrigerate it for 20 minutes prior to baking. So the spatula is working fine in getting it off of my parchment paper. But I would highly recommend using parchment when you're rolling out or maybe lightly flouring your surface. Okay, we almost have the last one here of my first cutouts. So let's continue. Okay, here's my first batch. As you can see, because the cutter is rather large, this is quite large, I am going to use a smaller biscuit cutter for the rest of them. But let me get these in the refrigerator so they can firm up a little before I bake them. Okay, so here is batch number 2. I did roll them out a little thinner than the first batch, and I used a smaller cutter on these. So I did only get 12 graham crackers out of this batch. However, I do have to say, I wasn't expecting many considering the cutter size that I used, and it was only 1.5 cups of flour, so I knew I wasn't going to get much, and that's fine because this is an experiment. This is the first time I am making this recipe. I have tasted the dough. It is delicious. We will see how they turn out after they've been baked. I'm feeling a little bit like America's Test Kitchen. Do you remember that show? I used to watch that. I think it was on PBS, and I didn't realize until watching it for a few years, actually, it is filmed here in Massachusetts, and their newest test kitchen is actually in I believe it's the Seaport district of Boston. And I know that because my daughter had gone there and she said it's absolutely beautiful. So from my New England stories form of America's Test Kitchen to you, I would recommend if you want to get more, I would double the recipe, which is exactly what I will do next time. I do like this size with this little biscuit cutter that I used, so I would do this again. However, another option is you can just roll out the dough and just cut it with a knife in whatever size you want. I apologize, my timer just went off. So it's time for me to take the first batch out and put them in the oven. Let's put our first batch in the oven. We are going to bake these for, I'm going to do 8 minutes. So, okay. Okay, well, he's making progress here. We had the stone delivered yesterday, and so he's prepping the base here of our little, what are we going to call this? Our little barn, our little shed? Outbuilding, okay. Our outbuilding. It's Mark's new home. Unless you behave, this is where you're going to stay. Can you explain a little kind of what you are doing here? It looks like you've had some digging.
So the barn company, the shed company, recommended a base, a crushed stone base of some sort.
Okay.
And I was going to use timbers, but with rot, I thought I'd try these, I guess you'd want to call them retaining wall blocks. So the challenge always is try to get everything as level as you can. And there is forgiveness when they do the setup with the shed. They come with cinder block, and they can shim it up in various places to level it all off. So we're hopeful that everything goes well. I got a deadline timetable of next Thursday, and the hope is I get this all done tomorrow.
Okay. Well, we all wish you luck. We're going to leave you alone. You can see Theodore and Henry were here helping yesterday. And I don't know, they were helping Papa move the gravel here. Did they get much done?
No.
Not much. little bit here. Theodore had more fun running up and down like he was, you know, climbing Mount Everest, which I guess for him it kind of was. So, okay, we're just checking on you. We're going to get back inside and check on our graham crackers. So, okay, don't work too hard. Okay. They look luscious. What do you think? Now, I did not sprinkle any sugar or cinnamon or anything on these, but they look delicious. So we will let those cool and then we will try them out. Okay, second batch is out. I can already tell these are going to be a little more crunchy, and that's perfectly fine. Mark tends to like a more crunchy cookie per se, and grahams are supposed to be crunchy. Whereas I think I'm going to like these because they're going to be a little more soft. My fault because I cut them too thick. So now I know. This is why we experiment. So these have cooled. Let me go ahead and take a little piece to taste for you. Yes, these are more cookie-like, but again, that's perfectly fine with me. Oh, they are delicious. They're not too sweet. They definitely taste like a graham cracker. And they may harden up a little more as they, you know, cool and sit. But I think these are going to be more crunchy. Well, friends, that's it for today. Let me know if you decide to try this recipe. I will link it below the video. I do want to make note, the only thing I did differently from the recipe is, as always, I substituted coconut sugar for the white cane sugar. I've explained before in the past, that's typically what I do. It's not quite as sweet, a little lower on the glycemic index. So, I enjoy using coconut sugar, but you can go ahead and do the cane. You do you. Let me know if you try it though. It's a keeper recipe for me, definitely. The only thing I will change is next time I will be making either a double or triple recipe. But with that being said, I need to get outside. I need to see if Mark needs help. We have a lot of projects going on here. As you can see, we have, you know, the cleanup of the yard. We have the porch going. We have this going now. Oh my goodness. I think we're all going crazy here, but we are on a timeline this coming week. And so we need to get busy. So until next time, friends, I hope you have a wonderful week and don't work too hard. I know you're all working out in your yards also. Okay, have a good one. Bye-bye.